Friend.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning. Welcome. There's no one here yet.
There's
no one's watching. Although any minute,
anybody
at any
moment,
given,
at any day, at
any given point of time, they could be watching later.
Yeah, you get a notification. Though.
Just not here live.
Some people get a notification and it's like, we're on live.
We're live.
We're live.
You're listening. We are live. But you're not live.
I feel like getting a notification that somebody's live. I would rather look at that than when I get a knock on my door without somebody saying I'm coming to your door. I find that horrible.
What?
Yeah.
You can come on over to my
house. I'm like, why is somebody knocking on my door?
Come to my house and knock on my door anytime.
Like the Amazon guy just drops everything off.
And John will make you coffee.
I'll make a coffee. So I had a guy come. I bought something on the Kijiji. And he decided to come to my house. And so he came to my house and we're in the kitchen discussing and looking at the product. And he goes, wow. And I'm like, oh, you want a coffee? He's like, wow, that's a machine. I didn't want to explain it to him that, I kidnapped the church's
it actually belongs
espresso
to the church.
Machine. He's like, wow, that's a coffee machine.
I feel like we made a very responsible decision because a coffee machine like that should not be sitting unused for like 2 years.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
We didn't do any research to approve that, Rama, right? Oh, you did? Oh, well then. The guilt and the guilt has been lifted from my burdensome back. I like how we're matching as army people. We don't plan these things.
I just want to say that I got dressed first.
Sometimes okay.
And then you ran upstairs.
What I was thinking is, what's the worst thing you've forgotten?
I cannot answer that. I cannot answer that.
What?
I cannot answer that live on a video. Just keep talking, please.
Oh, you've forgotten something
Just
that
keep talking.
Bad? I can't think of what it was.
Keep talking.
I forgot where I parked my car. But there was alcohol involved in that. Like, I literally have lost my car more than once. And I'm like, I can't even, like, that's a horrible feeling. I found it in Hull once the next day. That's not a good,
That's
but at least I wasn't drinking and driving.
I have like a really nice sweatshirt that I left on my friend's boat. Now it's at their cottage. I'd really like it back. Please invite me over.
But a car.
I'd like to come get my sweatshirt.
I'm sure people have left. Like, one thing that I would, I think at this age, this is why people like us shouldn't have children. Imagine having a child in the back seat sleeping. I would leave them there all the time by accident. Like,
for sure
happens. I think it probably does happen.
People go to jail for that.
Oh.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. I was just thinking about losing my car. I don't know what prompted that. I was just thinking about addiction and like all the things that I've lost or forgotten, misplaced.
The terrible beast of addiction.
The terrible beast of addiction. That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
We do Life in Recovery, the codependent, the substance abuse guy. And we've got like 15 years of recovery and are still recovering because we're in recovery. We're recovered because we're recovering. It's a process. It's a journey. It's a trail. Thank you for joining us. Let's get into our reading. This is our morning devotional, morning meditation time. And we just take time as a couple to read a excerpt out of a book. And we take that idea with us. It's a contemplative meditation. And we just want to pass that on to you for God to speak to you in your own language. And nourish you in that way. So it is October the 14th. It is almost the halfway mark of October.
You say that. You've said that.
The geese are leaving. The pumpkins are flying. I love the fall. Fall's my favorite. I don't know when it is, but there's duck or goose season, and we live by the river, and
our windows are always open.
The windows are always open when duck season starts, and all I can hear is like guns going off.
What
like,
time does
pop,
that
pop,
start?
Pop, 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 pop. Like, I think they start. I don't know. There must be a
4
flight.
a.m.
No, I think it's like 6. I'm not really sure. But the first time I heard it, I was fearful. I didn't know what it was.
That would have been one of the blessings of your sober life, because you probably never heard that when you were drinking.
No, just different. We come to the 12 steps. We come to the fellowship because we believe it has something we want. In other words, we come to get something for ourselves. At first, we have no idea that this getting is intimately involved with giving. At first, we have no idea that this getting is intimately involved with giving. We soon discover that our willingness to help others has an immediate and beneficent reaction on us. Our progress in the program depends on that satisfying sense of sharing, giving of ourselves, whether it be to enlighten and comfort a newcomer, serving as a group officer, supporting our fellowship, or listening patiently to someone in trouble. Today's reminder: the more I give of myself and the more generously I open my heart and my mind to others, the more growth I will experience as I deal with my problems. I learn in the 12-step fellowship that I'm in never to measure my giving against my getting. The very giving provides my reward. Here's our quote: the giver is only a channel for the gifts he has received from God. He cannot withhold them without blocking the channel. You can't keep what you don't give away. Yeah, I guess that's a spiritual principle. Is in addiction, I chug to maintain and to collect. I chug life to take it, and it's mine because everybody around me owes me something. The world owes me. And so the life of recovery, I just thought I was doing a check-in, and like I go to the doctor. You go to the doctor, you get a prescription or a subscription. And you leave and you go about your life. And so when I went into the second treatment center that I got to be a part of, I thought I was just checking in for a few months and then getting back to my life, because that was of utmost important, because I got to pay bills, I got children, I got wife, I got the things. And so what I quickly realized is that the recovery was a whole new life and a whole new set of principles. And instead of hoarding my product and my comfort, I had to give it away, because it's God's to give to me, to others. We're not building dams, we're breaking dams, and we have to have a proper water flow. And so God gives me everything I need to be given away, to be poured out. You can't keep what you don't have. That in the drug world, that's not a good business model, by the way. But in the spiritual world, in the spiritual realm, that's the way it works.
It is. Addiction is a selfish place to live, and it harms ourselves and everyone around us. And the ripple effects are ripple effects of devastation. And when I go into recovery, when I'm intentional and diligent and sacrificial and choosing to live my life a different way, there's a ripple effect there too. And that's how I keep it. And I think I'm struck this morning with the gratitude of, it is a life and death disease. There's a life and death urgency that people feel when they go into recovery, and then they can forget. But we're reminded on a regular basis that it's life and death, and it's not a joke. And this isn't something I can just like take lightly or just kind of sort of do sometimes. And I feel like that can be really discouraging some days, because it feels like there's not a lot of people that get it or stay sober, and why is it so hard? to change. You know, why is it so hard? I believe that most of the people who come into the rooms that want to be different.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to go back. No one wants to go back to the devastation that they came out of. And yet this different life of like giving away and being sacrificial, it's very hard to embrace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would rather give it all away, whatever I'm getting, than die alone in my addiction. And that's the reality of many of the people that are afflicted with addiction. So I believe that what I'm hearing today is, do I have something to give away? Do I have a gift that's been given to me that I need to give away?
I mean, I think that's kind of the cool thing too, though, is actually that even at the very beginning, even, you know, as a newcomer in the room, if I'm brand new and I'm making a decision that I want a different life, I still have something to give away.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
If I have like 5 days sober, you know, if I can decide that I have something to give
I love
away.
it when a newcomer, like 5 days, 10 days, 30 days, they're just like doing backflips, cartwheels, going like, high five me. I'm sober today. It's like, I'm a mess, but I'm just sober. I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Can I help you clean up these chairs?
Yeah,
like, can I, you know,
instead of grumbling and complaining about how horrible the life is. I love seeing the newcomer that's just like, I don't get anything that's going on, but
can I come hang out with you guys?
I can breathe now. And like, what do I have to do to continue this journey? And yeah, you start doing the work and you start seeing the gifts. Yeah. And, you know, I've had multiple people come as train wrecks and with a few short months, they've had this spiritual experience and it's like, they don't even need me anymore. I don't really need to meet anymore. I'm just here working with other people, and you start to change your relationship where mm-hmm. they're asking you like, okay, when this happens, what do I do in this case? And I think that's really cool that the reality of this spiritual gift that God gives us is his love, and we get to keep it by pouring it out around us. Mm-hmm. We go from the little glass, the self-centered, self-serving glass, and God transforms us into pitchers mm-hmm. that we're poured out throughout the world. Man, we just leave you on that note. What's God giving you to give away? The comfort, the love, the peace, the serenity, all of those things. Are you giving that away? Keep the peace, be a good behavior, and we will see you tomorrow.